Girls, Miss Sandy here. Wanted to take a little bit of time today to let you spend some time with Fedge. Today we're going to be feeding him and then also letting him take a bath, and I thought that you might like to be part of that today. But first, before we do that, I want you to take a look at Fedge's habitat. I had to bring Fedge home from school. When we had to close the schools for a little while, Miss Sandy needed to bring Fedge home so that I could take care of him. And I didn't bring his habitat that he had at school. Instead, I'm using the habitat that I got for Fedge when he was brand new, when he was still little. So I want you to look at it and see if you can tell what some of the differences are and how this habitat is the same as the habitat we have at school, and maybe how it's different. Yeah, if you notice that you can see through this habitat just the way that you can see through the habitat at school, you're exactly right. This habitat is made of glass. All of the walls on the sides and the back are made of glass so that you can see through it. Yeah, you're right about that. It also has a top on it, and that's important because we don't want Fedge to get out of his habitat. We want him to stay inside and stay safe. You're right. I also brought some of the things that Fedge has inside of his habitat that he likes to climb on. Fedge is a climber, and so we brought those home so that he could climb on them as well. You're right. I brought his food dish as well as his water dish home because Fedge has to have food and he has to have water. Yeah. Oh, you're right. This thing that's on the top, that's his light and his heat lamp, and those are very important. If you're a reptile, you need to be able to get lots of sunlight and you need to be able to stay warm. So we have to make sure that Fedge has that as well. And another thing is what's in the bottom of his habitat. This is more like a desert sand. It's a kind of a yellowy white color. At school, what he has in the bottom of his habitat is made of crushed walnuts, and it's a little bit darker brown color, and it's a little bit more coarse. It's not as fine and silky as this sand, but either of them are just fine. Yeah, I know Fedge is excited for you to see him today, and hopefully you'll enjoy our time together. So Miss Sandy's going to get ready now to feed Fedge. Well, boys and girls, I've got everything ready so that we can feed Fedge. The first thing I need to do is probably see if I can move him a little bit closer so that you can see him better. Here, Fedge, do you want to see your friends? Oh, he's kind of hanging on there. There we go, Fedge. Yeah. Can you smile for the camera? Can you say hello to your friends? All right, Miss Sandy's getting ready to get the roaches. I'll give him one at a time, and we'll see if he can eat some of those. Got them over here in their little container. They're kind of fast, so sometimes when I put them in, Fedge has to look at them for a minute. Oh, whoa, he's hungry today. Let's see if we can get him another one. Ooh, this one's trying to run away. What do you think, Fedge? Do you want to eat another one? Oh, are you looking at it? Sometimes Fedge likes to look out of the corner of his eye. This little fellow's not moving very much, and so because he's not moving, Fedge isn't sure if he's alive or dead. Come on, little man. Uh-oh. See if I can turn him over. What do you think, Fedge? Are you hungry? Let's see if we can find one that's moving a little faster. Maybe you would like that one. How about this one, Fedge? Oh! Now this little guy, he's playing dead so that Fedge won't eat him. I guess he thinks if he stays really still, Fedge won't find him. All right, Fedge, how about another one? So how many has he eaten so far? Let me think. I saw him eat one, and then I saw him eat two. Oh, this one's laying on his back. His feet are oh, he rolled over. Do you see him, Fedge? What do you think, Fedge? Are you still hungry? So far, Fedge has eaten two. Let's see if he's going to eat this one. What What do you think, Fedge? Are you planning on eating this one? Oh, he's moving really slow. Do you see how Fedge tilted his head? I think he's watching him. And when Fedge decides to eat, he's pretty fast. Oh, did you see him reach down and eat him? So, and he looks like he licked his lips. Was it really good, Fedge? Did you like it a lot? So I think 3 is probably all that we should feed him. We don't want him to get a tummy ache. But one thing I wanted you to notice is that when I brought Fedge home, he started shedding his skin. And what that means is as reptiles grow bigger, their skin gets too small for it. So it starts peeling off. And this is what some of Fedge's skin looks like. I'll probably throw it away after today, but I left it in here because I wanted you to be able to see. This is some of the skin that came off of his head. So far, he's shed his skin to about right here. I'm expecting that probably over the next week or so, he might lose some more of his skin. But there's a few pieces all around in his habitat where he's lost his skin. See, here's some of the pieces right here. Do you see how? That's kind of a lot of skin to fall off of you, isn't it? But that's what reptiles do. They shed their skin as their body grows. So we know Fedge is growing. Good job, buddy. That's really good. All right, so now Miss Sandy's going to bring him his other food. Remember, I told you that he also needs water. So we're going to put his fresh, clean water down in there. And we'll put it right over here. Sometimes Fedge drinks his water, sometimes he splashes in it. So I'm not sure what he'll do today. And then this is Fedge's lettuce. Now, I'm going to have to move him back a little bit because his habitat is kind of small and there's not a lot of room for him. Here, Fedge, would you like a piece of lettuce? Would you like to eat some lettuce? Fedge needs to eat his vegetables just like you do. What do you think, Fedge? Would you like some lettuce? I'm not sure if he ate 3 bugs. So maybe he's not too hungry for his lettuce today. I'm not sure. Do you want to try this big one, Fedge? What do you think about that one? I think he's telling me I think I'd rather wait and eat my vegetables later. So I think we'll just leave him in here and then he'll have them for when he's ready. Oh, look, he's getting ready to move around. All right, so now Miss Sandy's going to stop the video. And the next time you see us, we will be getting Fedge ready to put in the water and let him take his bath. Okay, boys and girls, Miss Sandy has the water ready. You see it there on the floor. I also have a towel ready for Fedge. And I also use a toothbrush. See, here's the toothbrush that I use for Fedge whenever I want to scrub him. So we'll put the toothbrush down in there. And then over here, I have a towel ready for him so that when we get him out of the bathtub. So I have everything that I need for Fedge except I'm missing Fedge. So let me get Fedge out of his habitat. Fedge, are you ready to take a bath? Oh, goodness, he's kind of hiding under a rock. Oh, he feels nice and warm. All right, so here he comes. Oh, he's a little bit wiggly. Oh, goodness. Oh, look, it looks like he's holding the toothbrush. I guess he thinks he's going to give himself a bath. He's going to scrub his own body. What do you think of this, Fedge? What do you think, buddy? Huh? Would you like some water? Now, the water that we put on Fedge, that we put in his bath, is nice and warm. Just like you like to have a warm bath, Fedge likes a warm. Oh, look, Fedge is drinking some of his water. Oh, he must be thirsty. After eating those 3 bugs, he might be thirsty. He's getting a big drink of water. I hope you don't drink your bath water. But I guess if you're a bearded dragon and you're used to living out in the world, you probably drink water out of ditches and ponds and streams and mud puddles. So drinking your bath water would probably be okay. So, but Fedge is a little bit thirsty right now. So Fedge, what do you think? Hi, can you say hi to your friends? Oh, look. All right, so Miss Sandy's going to get this little toothbrush from Fedge. And sometimes I just like to brush over his skin. I think Fedge likes the feel of this because I don't think Fedge can really scratch himself. If anything itches or if for some reason he wants to scratch something, Fedge doesn't really get to do that very easily. So by using a toothbrush, it gets Fedge's skin a nice little rub down. What do you think, Fedge? I think Fedge is enjoying his bath. Sometimes when I first put Fedge in, he splashes around because kind of like it makes me think he doesn't want to take a bath. But I think he wanted a bath today. What do you think, Fedge? Does it feel good? This is why he's called a bearded dragon. Do you see these little spikes on the side of his neck? Those look like little tiny hairs, only they're not. They're kind of sharp. If you touch them, sometimes they're kind of pokey. They don't really hurt you too bad, but they are there. I guess they look a little bit like a beard. Ooh, look at his legs. Oh, look, there's his skin is floating in the water. I think some more of his skin might be shedding off. Does that feel good, Fedge? Oh, I think he likes it. He's nice and quiet. Oh, goodness. Did you want to move around, Fedge? Hi. Hello, friend. Hi, you want me to rub your head? Hello. There we go. Oh. Yeah. So sometimes Miss Sandy lets Fedge sit in the water for about 10 or 15 minutes. I'm sure you don't want to just sit there and stare at him for that long. So I'm going to stop the video and we'll start it again in a few minutes when I'm ready to take Fedge out of the water. Okay? All right, boys and girls, it's time for us to get Fedge out of the water and dry him off. So I'm going to reach down and pick him up. Oh, I think I'll put the towel on my lap first so that I can use it. Won't get my legs too wet because he's kind of wet just like you are when you get out of the bathtub. Oh, there's Fedge. Hi, Fedge. Oh, goodness. All right, Fedge. Let's dry you off so that we can put you back. Oh, goodness, he's a little wiggly. Oh, goodness, Fedge, are you nervous? Are you nervous? I'm sorry. I don't want you to be afraid. Can you look at your friends? Hi. Yeah, we're going to dry him off, get him all nice and dry so we can get him ready to put back in his habitat. We don't want to put him in his habitat when he's wet or he might get cold. And it's real important that we try to help him stay warm. So we're going to get him nice and dry. And then we'll put him back in his habitat. Oh, does that feel good, Fedge? Can you tell your friends hello? Yes. I know we've had a fun time with our friends today. We hope that they're all doing well at home and that you know that we miss you. And we'll talk again soon. All right?